para dar inicio a esta prueba.
En el momento lo tenía muteado, lo desmuteo. ¿Te acuerdas que me dijiste que lo muteara? Ahí está. Can you speak?
Oh, sorry, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
¿Ya es todo?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. You have one problem, you had mute only there.
Okay,
That's it.
so this is off, on.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See, this is a lesson to all of us. Live like the Mexicans. Oh, perfect.
¿Y cuál es mute, güey? Pero...
Pero ese no tiene para mutear. Ese no tiene para mutear.
¿Y entonces? ¿Qué pasó?
Sí, espera, sí, hermano, sí, estoy aquí abajo, sí.
propietarios de un Mini Cooper negro, placas de Morelos. Es urgente que lo
Ya,
mueva,
del
por
boom.
favor, está estorbando la salida de la ambulancia y la entrada de un reporte para que se lleve el caballo que está enfermo. Por favor, seamos conscientes.
Voy a poner el mío, el de inalámbrico.
Esta prueba de 1.50 y 4 estrellas consta de 13 obstáculos con 16 saltos. En
Ahí
unos
se me escucha,
momentos
Peter.
les damos la distancia y el tiempo. Y los obstáculos al desempate son 2, 3,
Peter.
5B, 15, 12AB, 16 y 10.
Si te
Repito,
llega Peter
2,
inalámbrico.
3, 5B, 15, 12AB, 16 y 10. Una distancia del desempate de
Peter.
300 metros y un tiempo de 48 segundos.
Peter.
Jinetes 11:40 será llamado el primer jinete.
Empate 2, 3, 5 AB, 15,
Ahí te voy a hablar por
AB do fundo lá, 16 vertical, 1010 desempate. Está buena, siempre.
Uno, dos. Uno, dos.
O 10. Vamos con el tiempo, vamos a contar en batidas. Pero bueno, aquí tengo que colocar 5, ¿no? Y si quiero final para atrás. Y si no, más seguro acá no entro.
a remolcar porque no hay nadie que lo maneje nada más a la cosa del dueño.
Sí. But he can't do that with dominant.
Well, hello here and welcome to the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup event in Puebla. World Cup, of course, coming your way this Saturday, but this is the qualifier. This is a chance for these athletes to get their horses in the ring, have a look around this arena, have a look at the jump material as well. And, of course, also a chance to pick up a good starting position for Saturday. Quite a strong field we've got coming forwards here, 37 in total, and it is a jump-off format, so any tie for first place after round number 1 will take us to a single jump-off against the clock. It's going to be a great competition, always nice to be back here in Puebla. The sun is shining, little breeze kind of rolling across the arena today, so quite perfect conditions for these partnerships. If you have joined us on YouTube or Facebook, thanks for coming along. Thanks for keeping me company. And we are just running a couple of minutes late here, so a little bit later than the advertised start time, but I can assure you it is going to be worth waiting for. Some of the big names that you see on the world circuit, but also, from Mexico, people like, Alberto Sanchez Cazar, he's going to be in here. Arturo Prada Vallejo, we see him at Spruce Meadows quite a lot. Patricio Pascal. Nicolas Pizarro, Luis Alejandro Plasencia. There's a lot of athletes that you see kind of out and about around North America, coming over towards Europe as well, all kind of featuring here on home soil. Anderson Lima is our course designer here this week. He's a level 4 course designer. And I know he always enjoys coming here as well. He's got some great jump material to work with. Surface is good as well. So yeah, it's going to be a good one, and it's great to have so many people coming to join us online. If you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, then do hit that share button, tag your friends, share it to any groups that you're a member of as well. Let them know that they can enjoy all the action live here from Puebla. Again, on the FEI Jumping Facebook page or the FEI YouTube channel, along with Clip My Horse. And although there's only selected competitions available on YouTube and Facebook, you can also enjoy every single competition on Clip My Horse, and then of course FEI TV and Clip My Horse to watch the World Cup live here on Saturday. But the final kind of minute or two, we're going to see that first combination come forward and join us, and then we'll be underway here. Nice course they've got to jump as well. Anderson's done a good job of just, giving them a couple of fences just to kind of get that rhythm, get their eye in, get organised. And then the meatier part of the course kind of comes up quite quickly after kind of 5A, 5B. But we'll give you a proper tour as we get our first combination on track. And here they are. Luis Alejandro Plasencia is going to be our pathfinder. Gets us underway. Got this 14-year-old gelding. It's by Verdi TN. It's out of a Mr. Blue mare. It's called Huberth B. And this is one that Luis has had for about a year now. Represents the home nation of Mexico. He's just getting organised there, about to be underway. Now the time allowed, always important in our sport, and the time allowed here set at 81 seconds. 81 seconds is going to be that time allowed. Obviously when they come in, if you know the sport, you'll know they get the bell. They've then got 45 seconds to get organised and navigate round to that first fence. And that bell has gone now. Countdown has started. And now we'll be off and running. Oh, and Luis has actually asked for that countdown to be paused. And now I think we're off and running. So yeah, 81 seconds time allowed here. And we start kind of towards the centre of the arena here. As you head down towards the bottom end over that quite delicate vertical. Bit of time to get organised round this corner. That's a square oxer at 2 and then right-handed and down to quite a related line. And notice that tiny white plank sitting on the top. And 4 strides down towards the oxer. I think this is where the things start to come a little bit more technical. So we're vertical to vertical here. 2 non-jumping strides through the middle. Left-handed, looping back round. Longines oxer at 6. Another related distance. Down towards that oxer at 7. And this is where you've got to just keep that time allowed in the back of your mind. It's easy to get lost in that corner. In a related line through 8, and then down towards the second double on course through 9A and 9B. Here's the FEI jumping World Cup Puebla oxer. That's 10. Left-handed from here. Not too many fences left on course. So blue oxer at 11. And then this course has actually got 3 doubles in. So this is the final double. It's vertical oxer, and then to finish, fence 13, the vertical, the cherry blossoms there, down towards the far end of the arena. 78.98 the time, so just inside that time allowed. And just the one rail coming down there for Luis Alejandro Plasencia and Hubert B for Mexico, our pathfinder here. But plenty of talent in the field. Having a quick look over in the FEI jumping Facebook page. Hi to Ashgay, who's just joined. Dorothy Potter says, nice and sunny. It certainly is. Always is here in Puebla. Hi to Misha as well, watching on YouTube. And Gacha fan F4E watching on YouTube as well. Good to have you with us. But this is Nicolas Pizarro coming forward next. A 15-year-old mare he knows very well. It's by Conthargos. This is called Pia Contra. And Nicolas Pizarro, a very well-travelled athlete and always very busy at these events. You know, he's got a great business, you know, producing the horses, riding at the top level, but also helping some of the younger riders as well, coming up through the grades. Nico's got a couple of horses in this one today. And this comes quite early on, this plank, and you really want them to be settled into that rhythm by the time they get there. You know, planks of any kind of dimension are so easy to knock down. They sit on completely flat cups, but as you can see, that's a kind of a half-width plank. So it's very light, airy material through there. This is an experienced horse. It's the one he took to the Pan American Games in 2023, where the team just missed a medal placing. It's still clear so far. If you have just joined us, it is a jump-off competition, so any tie for first place does take us to a jump-off against the clock. You can see he's just taking an economic track round here, keeping that time allowed in the back of his mind. First part comes down there. Lost a stirrup as well. Yeah, well within that time, 77.50, just the one rail coming down, and late on course as well. First part of that double at 12 falls there for Nico and Pia Contra. He'll be back with Chacala Blue a little bit later on in the draw. But Pia Contra got such a nice jump. Just sadly not their day here. That's a shame because that horse has been on great form recently, had some really good placings on the circuit. Right, let's go to Argentina for the first time here in this one. Juan Balusta Pirahortas and the 12-year-old gelding here by Nintendo out of a Calvaro FC mare. This is Ninvaro PS. And we start careful over the vertical. Then we bring them to that oxer, we need a little bit of power. And then you can see just looking for that adjustability coming down here. making a nice job so far. This partnership were actually here at this venue just last week and missed out on a win, ended up second in a meter 45 class. That would be a great setup for this week. Juan's had this horse for quite a while now. He's had some good success. Remember last year we were down in Lucia and saw him just miss out in a big 1 meter 55 Grand Prix in Lucia. Oh, you can see him really just taking a little check, saying wait. Time looks okay. Jumps the final fence, and there's our first clear here in this one. It comes from Argentina. Juan Ballista Piera Hortaz and then Varo PS gives us that first clear. And now, of course, we look for a second to guarantee us a jump off. I think we're going to see it, though. I think we'll see 8 or 9 clears as we progress through the 37 advertised to start here. Standing by and just about to get underway here, Rodrigo Lambre represents Brazil. Got the 11-year-old mare by Talibu Z out of a Diarado mare. Take off Daria PS and Rodrigo Lambre here for Brazil. He's a very competitive athlete. You know, if he goes clear and gets through to the jump off, certainly one to watch. It's a rider who's been to the Pan American Games. One he's had for a couple of years now. Another one who was here last week, had some top 10 finishes with this horse. Got a nice string at the moment though, actually. Got 2 or 3 horses jumping towards the top of the sport. He'd be a regular visitor here. They run quite a few different competitions throughout the year, and he's always a face that you see at these kind of bigger events. Jumps to last, and very quickly we have a jump off here. Rodrigo Lambre, take off Daria PS, gives us that clear. It guarantees us a jump off. So 4 gone, 2 clear at this stage. Juan Bautista Patata Hortez for Argentina and Rodrigo Lambre for Brazil. So that's the 2 clears we have at this stage. A long way to go here in this first round as well. Alberto Sanchez Cozar already out there, just about to be underway. Riding the 12-year-old stallion by Elvis Terput out of a Sandro Boy mare, Excalibur Rimmel. You can see him really having to use his upper body just to balance this. It just drifts a little through that left shoulder. They finished 8th in the meter 45 Grand Prix here last week. Similar placings towards the end of the year in Lucia back in 25. This is still in relative terms a new ride for him. We saw him for the first time jump this horse back in October last year. But they came together quite quickly. Certainly got plenty in the tank. Keep an eye on that time though. Time allowed of 81. He's going to be over. He is. Yeah, he's going to finish on 3 time faults. 83.67. Alberto Sanchez Quasar. Excalibur Rimmel finishes on the 3. You can see him just have to take the odd check here and there, have to take an extra stride and use a little bit more room just to protect some of the more delicate fences on course. And that all adds up quite quickly. So he leaves us on the 3 faults. Having a look over on the FEI YouTube channel. Hi to My Purple Nail Polish who's watching, who said nice clear about that last one. Grace Kelly who's watching in Paraguay, good to have you with us as well. But if you are watching on YouTube or Facebook and you want to say hello, tell us where you're watching from. If you've got any questions, if you want to say good luck to any of these athletes, you can do that. Just use the comments box and I'll keep an eye on that as we progress through this first round. And here comes Andrea Scaraga. Next up here with the 14-year-old mare, Atlantica du Soleil Z for Mexico. Like so many of these athletes, he kind of followed in his father's footsteps. He's a rider we've seen right at the top of the sport, representing his country at Olympic level. This is a horse with plenty of energy. You can see him saying, "Come on, Dad, let me at them." And he just had to take a little check and just use that upper body a little bit just to make him kind of back off the front rails of those oxers and protect those more delicate verticals. I know he's had a rail, but he's done a good job of just keeping everything contained as he can there. And you know, this is a great setup for the World Cup here on Saturday. We classify it as a qualifier, but due to the number of athletes, they don't actually have to qualify as long as the horses complete an FEI competition. They're all going to have a place to be able to come forward and compete here on Saturday. So if that's his plan, I think he's given the horse a perfect setup for that. Quick hello to Heather Piat Fisher watching on Facebook. Good to have you with us. Grace says she loves Atlanta. Again, if you are watching on YouTube or Facebook, feel free to hit that share button as well. Tag your friends, let them know that they can come and enjoy the action here in Puebla. And we're going to head to our next athlete. That is Danielate Moscano and the 11-year-old gelding by Lord Fauntleroy. This is Lucky Fauntleroy from Mexico. We know Anderson Lima, he's the course designer here this week, one of the riders' favourites for sure, and I think he's done a good job today. You know, it's just technical enough, but it's also given those kind of less experienced horses a little bit of an opportunity to come in, and the time allowed's just set, so it's part of the test, it's part of the question, but you're not having to chase all the way around. An early rail. And then takes an I was just about to say if he can stay on 4 and kind of think about the time, he might pick up some minor prize money today, but just kind of missing some of these back bars. Gets him having to have a bit of a conversation down that line. Same, he's just having to say wait down to the last. But finishes up on the 12 here, 80.47, 12 in total. New one there for Daniel. Only had the ride since the end of last year. And I think still in that kind of getting to know you phase. So still just on the 2 clears at this stage. 30 left to come here in the first round. And Arturo Parada Vallejo is waiting to be underway. Slightly younger horse this one, 9-year-old gelding. Mont Fontraine. KWPN horse. Got Cardento lines in this one. Arturo's another man who we see on team duty. Got 3 or 4 jumping at this level at the moment. This is the horse's first show out internationally for this year. Had a good end to the season with a couple of wins in Lucia. Then had a little bit of time off and is now back out and about and doing some good things. But nice to see this one back out. Couple just having an early rail here today, and you know, for some horses it might be the first time they've been in this arena this year. Like this horse, it's his first time out of the year, and you know, you do all that prep at home and all that work, and then you kind of come out and see how the horse is feeling and make your adjustments from there. That's the first part of that double as well down the long side. So it's going to finish on 8 today, but you know, first time back, horse is jumping nicely. A couple of people on YouTube are asking about the nationalities that are here, and it is South American riders really that we're going to be seeing here today. Got Uruguay, Argentina, Mexico in there as well, Brazil. Let's see if we can get Ana Sofia Legarreta Hernandez through into that jump off. We'd certainly like to see her there. This is the 11-year-old mare by Cannon, Perla Optima Santa Rosa, representing Mexico. Hi to Katrina as well, who was saying good luck to Andre. His horse jumped nice, to be fair. It's so great to hear from everyone who is watching online. Again, any questions, comments, good luck messages, or if you just want to say hello and tell me where you're watching from, be great to hear from you. Did a good job of just keeping him nice and straight through there. And we'll just keep an eye on that clock, thinking about that time allowed of 81 seconds. Ooh. Nicely through there. 10 seconds to get home. Come on, is she going to make it? Oh, a little rattle at the last, but she does make it, 80.08. Super job. Ana Sofia Legarreta Hernandez earns a place in the jump off, adds a clear for the home nation. So now we've got Mexico, we've got Brazil, and we've got Argentina all qualified for that jump off. Yeah, super job.
Número 10, representando a México, tenemos al protecida Isa Rota Tumá, con anunciado de la.
Now we turn our attention to Claret Villa Isacampos, 11-year-old gelding. Pino van de Katsova, 25 years of age. Represents Mexico. This is a rider we see at the North American Youth Championship. She's got a couple of silver medals there. And she's jumped some of the bigger competitions now. You know, we've seen her up at the meter 55 level on a few occasions. You see, Pino's just been a little bit playful there. She had to just use that room to get things a little bit more settled. Second part of that double comes down. Again, this is her first international outing with this horse of 2026. Went to the Lucia events back in November last year. Had some not bad rounds there. But now it's just about getting the eye back in, getting organised for the season ahead. And hopefully getting some good results here as the weekend progresses. Just got a little bit flat down that distance. You can see really just seeing weight as she comes down that line as they land and they're kind of bounding down towards home. It's really important to balance on the way in there. Oh. Obviously we've ended up with 14 in the time, 86.24, but hopefully she'll focus on some of the nice parts of that course as well, because there were certainly a few of those. And as her first time back out this year, I think it was a nice enough round for sure, and she'll know exactly what she needs to just make a little correction to before she comes back into the ring next time. Here's a man who's been all over. Juan Manuel Lizardo next, 10-year-old stallion. Bye Up to You. Gizmo Deru represents Uruguay. This is a horse he had with us last year here in Puebla. And he had the horse since about the end of summer of 24, and the results came quite quickly. That relationship built almost instantly. And it's a useful horse. We've seen him in Grand Prix, we've seen him in 6 bars with this one. He's a well-travelled rider, and we see him in California a little bit. Straightening up as he comes in here. Real forward thinking little horse. Catches the second part of the double down there. Second last fence away from home as well. He gave it such a stellar ride round there today, and then just to take that penultimate fence down. What a shame. Finishes on the 4, 76.70. And Manuel Lizardo finishes up on 4, goes into 5th place at the moment. 3 clears we have, then Alberto Sanchez Quizar on the 3, time faults, and Juan Manuel Lizardo currently sitting in 5th. 26 left to come here in this first round. Patricio Pascal next. 22 years of age, one of the younger athletes in the field today. I know this is a horse he's taken to the North American Youth Championships in the past. Finished on the podium, taking a team silver there on that occasion. We've seen him at Spruce Meadows with this horse in the past as well. It's a well-travelled partnership. They've had wins together. Nice and easy through that distance down there. Oh, just rattled that. He's very reactive as he landed though, and just had that perfect rhythm back as he came down towards the latter part of that line. Oh, you know, he's got a great eye for a distance, and quite a few strides back he noticed there wasn't quite a distance there, and he tried to make that little correction, and I think the horse just came back a little bit too quickly. But he'd already had faults anyway, and he'll know just how well this horse has jumped in there today. And again, you know, a great setup for later in the week as well. One to keep an eye on when it comes to the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup here on Saturday. But yeah, finishes on that total of 24 today, 96.77. Just having a look back over at Facebook. Hi to Belani Barankeys and also to Belkeys as well, both watching. Good to have you with us. Making his way around towards the start now. Rafael Augusto Aldebaros from Brazil. 11-year-old mare by Ingmar. Got Chaco Blue lines in this one as well. Channel PS. Now, no one's had that very kind of precarious plank yet. When I walked the course, I thought, this is one to kind of keep a little bit of an eye on, but so far, not really caused any issues. Ooh, just drifted a little bit through that turn, so now he's got to just set up for this line. Good recovery. Yeah, a couple down, but again, not bad at all. 77.22. Couple of rails, finishes up on the 8 faults there. The horse he's had for just over a year now. And finishes up on 8, heads into 9th place at the moment. 23 left to come here in this first round. Here comes Dexter S. It's a 9-year-old gelding, this one. Francisco Lamelin on board, owns this horse as well. Represents Mexico. Finished 10th in the metre 45 Grand Prix, 2-star Grand Prix that was here just a few days ago. 6th in the metre 50 Grand Prix at Playa del Carmen back in September last year. Ooh. Nice and economic through that turn. For those eagle eyes, you could see this one goes in a full cheek snaffle, or a Fulmer snaffle as it's sometimes called, and they're so useful just to help a little bit with straightness. They're great for the young horses as well, those ones. Late rail as well there, so finishes up on 8 in total. 80.15 and 8 there. Heads 11th. Remember, there's 12 placings, or at least 12 placings in any international competition, any FEI event. So he heads down into 11th at the moment. A long way to go though. We're still just on the 3 clears. They all came quite close together. Still think we're going to see at least the same again though. I thought we'd see about 8 or 9 from the talent we had in the field today, along with the course that was built. Thiago Brown here for Argentina. Got a 12-year-old Oldenburg gelding called Lord of London. Again, another younger rider. Another young rider who's already been representing his country. He was here last week with this horse, finished in 4th place. See, this horse maybe have a sensitive paw, which is about right at the top of their head. It's got a little bit. Oh, that's just come down. Late faller, that one. That little bit of kind of fleece can be quite helpful if they're sensitive. And the paw's actually the first 2 parts of the cervical vertebrae of the horse, so it can be a little bit sensitive. And either using like an anatomical bridle or a little bit of that kind of felt fur there can really be so helpful. That was a nice round there, but just takes a single rail. 78.30, finishes up on 4 faults. Lord of London and Thiago Brown finish on the 4, head into 7th at this stage. 21 left to come in this first round. Hi to Neve Gates, who's tuned in on YouTube and watching from school. Well, hopefully not during lessons, and hopefully you don't get caught. Hi to Maria, who's watching in Poland. Just tuned in on the FEI Facebook page. And also hello to Manuel Senderos, who joins us in the ring for Mexico. Next to go with Cannabisar, 17-year-old gelding. You know, from this point on, these riders will have had a chance to watch a few, which is always so useful. You know, you can walk the course a couple of times. You get a very good idea of how you think the course is going to ride for your horse, and then to be able to watch a couple go is so useful. Manuel knows this horse quite well. They've been together a while. He's produced the horse up through the grades. Now he's the only rider ever to jump the horse internationally. Ended the year with a top 10 finish in the meter 60 Grand Prix in Lucia. And we saw him at the end of last month, just last week, in San Miguel. With some good finishes there. Again, to have an early rail, always frustrating. But I would reckon this will be a partnership we'll see in the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup here on Saturday. Well, I think that came down as well, did it? Well, it might still be up. Yeah, finishes on 4 jumping, a little bit over that time allowed as well, so picks up a single time fault. Going to be 5 in total. You can see the first part of that delicate double of verticals coming down there. Finishes on 5. Luis Alejandro Plasencia next. Partnership that was 5th in San Miguel last weekend. 12-year-old called Enzo BJX. He's had the ride of this for quite a while now. Horse that's owned by Salvador Oñate. Set up perfectly coming down through there. Ooh. It moves up down this distance. Makes it work. That was a great reaction. Again, you know, you make your plan when you're walking and you know what you're going to do. And as he landed there, he felt he just needed to get his leg on and just move up to get that stride that he wanted. Well, it pushes on through. It's 78-75. It is a clear. Luis Alejandro Plasencia jumps clear from Mexico. Brings us up to a nice solid 4. 2 for Mexico, 1 for Brazil, 1 for Argentina. Answering the tests of this course set by Anderson Lima. Now we go to Fabian Cianis, and a horse that he picked up around the spring last year. They got to know each other in Lima and here at Puebla, and since then have been producing some great results actually. He's a little bit unlucky in San Miguel last weekend, just had the odd rail here and there. But let's see how he gets on with us here. The 12-year-old gelding, Tican Licia, and Fabian Cianis for Argentina. Nice strong ride through there. See, he just keeps a nice light seat. Lets the horse travel underneath him. Whoa. Nice through there. Still on that clear. Goes wide to get nice and straight. Good active rhythm here. Drops that front rail. He came off that corner with quite a lot of activity. Managed to protect the vertical coming in, but then just cut the front rail of the Oxer coming out, and then the last fence comes down as well. And maybe he was thinking a little bit about that time allowed as we saw him move up, because he has finished just over 81.54, 8 jumping, 1 time, total of 9 there for Fabian Sianis and Tikan Lucia. So we're at the halfway stage here in the first round. We can see 4 clears at the moment. 1 for Argentina, 1 for Brazil, and 2 for Mexico. We'll all be coming back to battle it out against the clock a little bit later on here. We've got some good riders still to feature in this first round. I do think we'll see about another 4 or 5 clears as things progress. But we're going to hand things back over to our course design team. They're going to likely bring the tractors in and do a little bit of a touch-up on the arena surface, and then we'll be back underway with the remainder of this first round. Once again, a big thank you to everyone who is joining us online, watching on the FEI YouTube channel, the FEI Jumping Facebook page as well. And don't forget, you can get involved with that conversation. You can let me know where you're watching from. Just say hello if you want to ask any questions about the sport, the competition, or being here in Puebla. You absolutely can do that as well. Just use the comments box below. But we'll take a very short pause in the action. Don't go too far. We're back underway here in about 10 minutes' time. Welcome back here to the action in Puebla. If you have just joined us, my name is Adam Cromercy. Great to have your company. So glad you're watching. And big thank you to everyone getting involved with the conversation as well on YouTube and Facebook. Getting some great questions in as well. Red Fail Hawk says, I wonder what colour horses see best. Are some of the most hit jumps harder for them to see? Well, I can tell you the colours that they struggle with most over fences are yellow and white. I'm sure there's been lots of studies done, but I know at Spruce Meadows they kept track of all the kind of fences that came down and what colours they were, and they kind of proved over a long period of time that yellow and white were the two kind of hardest ones for the horses to be able to jump. Horses have got diachromatic vision, so they don't see the same as we do. So yeah, some colours do affect things a little bit. Having a look through these questions. A lot of people commenting on the weather as well, saying how snowy or cold it is where they are. And here it is pretty nice, I have to be honest. The weather was pretty bad when I left the UK. And it's quite nice being here in the sunshine, getting some good vitamin D. Hi to Petra, who's watching on Facebook Live from Belgium. Again, you can use that comments box, get involved with the conversation. Always great to hear from you. But the final kind of pass is happening with that tractor, and then we'll be back underway here with the final 18 to see in the first round. And then going to be an exciting jump off when we get there as well. We know we've already got 4 clears heading through. The warm-up for this, not too far away actually. It's just if you go through that Longines archway, kind of down to the right, there's a little ramp there, and you're in the warm-up. So the horses don't have far to travel. Once they're kind of warmed up and they're at that kind of peak position, ready to come in the ring and perform, they don't have too far to go. But the altitude here quite high as well. Someone was asking about, you know, the colours that the horses see. They also have to adapt as well to the altitude, because breathing's so important, I mean, for us all, for obvious reasons, but also the way the horses move across the surface. They actually take a breath with every canter stride. They hold their breaths over a fence as well, fun facts, and then don't take another breath till they land. But yeah, so the horses' kind of locomotion is kind of powered by that breathing as well, so it does take them a little bit to adjust to the height that we're at here. But a lot of these horses would have been here last week or in San Miguel and kind of getting used to things. But we do pick up the action once again here. Good luck to everyone else that's left to come. And it is going to be Jose Antonio Tedrawi who gets us back underway. 13-year-old gelding this one. It's by Star Power. It's called Concord. Represents Mexico. And if you're watching online, do feel free to hit that share button as well, or tag your friends, share it to any equestrian groups that you're a member of. Let them know that they can enjoy all the action here in Puebla. If you haven't checked out Clip My Horse, that's well worth doing as well. You can enjoy the action from all the sport here in Puebla, and of course around the world as well. Definitely worth taking a look at. This is a man that's been a part of the sport his whole life. We've seen him at the Pan American Games, we've seen him at the Olympic Games as well. And Concord's been on great form recently. Started the year with some strong results in La Silla. That's where they ended the year as well, actually. And I think it was San Miguel that they were third in the 145 competition about maybe 5 days ago, 6 days ago. So yeah, it's on good form at the minute. Really pinging off the floor today. He's got to get through this final line. This line has caught a couple, and it's caught him as well. Ugh. That's a shame. Finishes on a total of 6, 4 jumping, 2 time faults added in there as well. 82.27, 6. 6 in total for Jose Antonio Chedraui and Concor. And that was a shame, because I mean, just look how well the horse jumped over that oxer. Came round towards that final line. Picks up a late rail. Still think we'll see some more clears though, won't we? Rafael Rodriguez is next up. 13-year-old mare. And Paladeos for Uruguay. 6 in the 145 Grand Prix here last week. Ended the year in Lima with a 3rd place in the 145 Grand Prix there. Another horse with a little bit of fur on top there. That's just to give a bit of padding to the horse's poll, which you may have heard of. You know, when you are using bits or bridles, you get a bit of poll pressure. And some horses are quite sensitive. That poll is the first 2 parts. It's the atlas and the axis, which is the first 2 parts of the cervical vertebrae. And some horses can be a little bit sensitive up there. So just by putting that little bit of fur, a little bit of a poll protector, it can really just help them. On down to the last. I'll look at the time though. It's going to be over. It is. Thixa single time fault up today. 81.90. Just the one time fault there for Rafael and Impala. Still good enough to head into 5th at the moment. But that was a shame. Single time fault there. Redfield Hawk says it's a really pretty chestnut mare. It certainly is. Hi to Cecile as well, tuning in on the FEI Jumping Facebook page. She's watching from Norway. Good to have you with us. Right, 16 left to come here in this initial round. Alberto Sanchez Cozar coming forward as our next to go with this 9-year-old Akin del Pinar from Mexico. We saw him a little bit earlier with the first ride. Now returning with this one. Again, a 9-year-old, so in relative terms a little bit younger than some of the other ones. And only jumped its first international competition in May last year. It's a little bit lower on the mileage than some, and mainly so far, you know, meter 40, meter 45s. You could see just trying to take a check, and the horse went a little bit hollow down that distance. Oh. Yeah, great recovery through there. This horse is really jumping though. Pushes through just inside by 4/100ths of a second. 80.96. Jumps that clear round. Alberto Sanchez Cozar and Akin del Pinar from Mexico gives us clear round number 5. Wow, shaping up to be a great jump off here for sure. Nicolas Pizarro coming back, already sitting in 9th with his previous ride. Had an unlucky rail with that one. This time it's the 9-year-old mare that he owns, Chacala Blue PS. Don't forget, this is a man who's been to the Olympic Games, been to the Pan American Games, World Equestrian Games. Always seems to have a nice string of horses. This one was 4th in the metre 45 Grand Prix here just about 4 days ago. Ended the year with a top 3 finish in the metre 45 Grand Prix in Lucia. You can see him really just controlling the horse's shoulders around that turn. You can see it just drifting a little bit towards that left shoulder, and he does a great job of just keeping that straightness, keeping that left leg on. Oh. I mentioned this just a 9-year-old, and you can see that little bit of greenness as it was kind of drifting a little bit, but Nico gives so much confidence. Oh, catches that back bar there. But you can see with every fence, Nico's just continuing the horse's education, getting that all-important mileage in the ring. Jumps the last, finishes up on the 4, 79.39. So 4 with the first ride, 4 with the second ride. A little bit unlucky today. Again, you know, we'll pick the horse. I think it'll probably be the Pia Contra horse. I would imagine he'll be taken into the World Cup here on Saturday, and he's given both horses a really good setup for whatever else is to come this weekend for them. Andre Escaraga next up then, already out there, standing by, about to be underway. Comes forward with the 11-year-old gelding by Jaguar van Broghove. This is Jax van de Broghove. Andre Escaraga here from Mexico. Andre's a man who we saw at the Olympic Games in Paris back in 24. That was with a horse called Contendros. But he's had this horse a while. He's been bringing the horse up through the grades. Took over the reins back in 2023. You can see how well he gets on with the horse. Very adjustable down these distances. Just takes a little feel down the rein and you can see the horse coming back to him. Just keep an eye on that clock. Come on, come on, come on. Is he going to make it? Yes, he is. 80.51 inside and jumps to clear. Andre Escaraga jumps clear there with Jax de Broghove for Mexico. I think he'll be very happy with the way that horse went in there today. 13 left. 6 clears at the moment. Let's go to Paula Amalibia next, a 13-year-old stallion. One that she co-owns with Federico Fernandez. This is I'm a Star. Represents Mexico. By E-Star, this horse. 13-year-old stallion. Paola and Frederica kind of split their time, spending quite a bit of it over in Europe. You know, towards the end of the summer, we saw them over there in France and the Netherlands at Valkenswaard. This is one of the horses that she took over to Europe with her last year. More recently, though, ending the year with some good results and starting it in San Miguel with top 10 finishes. 6th in the 155 Grand Prix right at the end of last year. Giving it a really nice ride in there today, isn't she? She's got one fence left to come. Yes, nice job, 79.13. Paola Amalibia jumping clear for Mexico with I'm a Star. Getting down towards the business end here in the first round. Not that many left to come now. David Garcia and De La Garza. And Anastasia Lucia now, the 14-year-old mare by Caruso Lucia. It's a Mexican bred horse, this one. I thought he worked, you know, to try and protect that second vertical. Just didn't quite manage to get it done. And that's a shame because this horse has been winning. It's been placing so well already this season. Just here last week, in fact. Had some very good finishes. A win at 145, second in the Grand Prix. I think he'll be a little bit frustrated by that after the way this horse has been jumping, but you know, that's the sport. So to protect this one as well. Yeah. Oh, and the last one comes down. So 12 for jumping. Couple of time faults added in there as well. So 14 in total. David Garcia and De La Garza and Anastasia. Finishes on that 14, 82.59. There's that last fence coming down. Here's a partnership that have been to the Olympic Games, went to Paris together. Federico Fernandez and Romeo. Had a historic second place finish in the Nations Cup in Aachen as well, part of the team there back in 2024. And this is a horse that Federico was actually gifted by a close friend who bought him as a foal, and Federico's known the horse since it was young, done all the work Him and his wife, Paola Malibia, very much, you know, part of a close team there. This is Federico Fernandez and Romeo from Mexico. 15-year-old stallion by Lando. This is a world-class horse for sure. Ooh. Use this corner, get organized. Nice. Horse got a great expression as well as he comes down to these lines. His ears are like little radars, they get locked in there. Oh, but bounces out the cups. Tell you, that was unexpected. See him sitting back and waiting here. Comes down, so sitting on the 8. Well, you know, I'd keep an eye on them. I think they're a strong contender when it comes to Longines FEI Jumping World Cup here on Saturday. Today, though, finishes on the 8 faults, 79.68. Federico Fernandez and Romeo. And just bounced that out of the cups, really just anticipating that left-handed turn a little bit. Protected that vertical push to get out and then just took that front rail. Juan Bautista Pereira Hortas next. Argentina. 10-year-old mare. Owned by Alexandro Herrera. Called Kilmunda. See that VIP tent as well that they jump in front of. There's always a great atmosphere. They're cheering on for every single athlete. Doesn't matter what nation they're from. It's a real friendly, welcoming venue, and love coming to Mexico. Don't want to jinx him, but he's making a nice job of this. Finished 10th in the 145 Grand Prix here last week, so we know the horse is feeling good. Oh, the last one, the final fence comes down. Oh. You can see that frustration as he ducks his head on landing there. 78.96, well inside the time, but just has that final rail down. I tell you, he's only been jumping the horse internationally since the end of last summer and making a real nice job. But to come to that final line, final fence, that's a shame. And here's our next partnership standing by and about to be underway. Just having a little look at the cactus. There's some real unique fences here. And depending on the horse that you're on, you know, it can be very useful just to get them kind of used to things before you pick up the canter and get round to the first fence. Better Arturo Parada Vallejo, very experienced athlete. This is a 14-year-old gelding by Centinel called Bordeaux. Oh.
Puntos en un tiempo de 37-39 se colocan en segundo lugar. Hasta estos momentos el tiempo a vencer sigue siendo de 34-79 de Rafael Olerva. Ya tenemos en la pista
Nice through there.
Rodríguez de Acartujano LS.
Oh, front rail down off that oxer. And just a bit of a miscommunication down that line. I think he might be about to retire, possibly. There are parts of it that were really nice. You can see him just kind of getting into a bit of a conversation down there. So yeah, he retires. And Miguel Morguera comes forward next for Mexico. Portas Miles Paro, 14-year-old gelding. Nice grey, this one. Another kind of younger rider in the field today. Nice to see so much young talent coming through the grades here in Mexico. Oh, early rail for him today. Again, another one who's been on such great form. He jumped clear in the first round of the Grand Prix last week. Ended up having one really delicate rail in the jump off, but finished 5th. So we know the horse is jumping well at the minute. Yeah, gives his signal and elects to retire today. Maybe just not quite getting the feeling that, you know, he wanted. He knew he was out of contention. The horses have only got so many jumps in them, so if you're not quite getting that feeling, it's quite sensible just to kind of call it a day. And here's a pair that know each other very well indeed. Patricio Pascal coming forward next with Gazelle SM, 10-year-old mare by Orient Express. One that he owns and rides, represents Mexico. This is the pair that won the Grand Prix here last week. A regular visitor to Spruce Meadows, we saw them there as part of the summer series, had some great finishes, just missed out on having a win there actually in one of the meter 50 jump off competitions during the early tournaments there over the summertime. Good talent, very competitive rider. Unexpected to have those earlier rails on course. And again, you know, if we look ahead towards Saturday in the World Cup, which is available on FEI TV, powered by Clip My Horse, this would be a partnership. I know they said a couple of rails today, he's up to 12 faults at the moment, but I certainly wouldn't discount this one in the World Cup. When those fences get big, this horse can really pop off the ground. It's a nice partnership. But today finishes up on that total of 12, 77.52, 12 in total there for Patricio and Gazelle SM. Just over a handful left to come forward here in this first round. Ana Sofia Legareta next, a 12-year-old this one, by Biscabilou Z, Bonfoy Van Hoff Santa Rosa. Years of age, this athlete, and someone who's been to the North American Youth Championships. A couple of occasions, has picked up a silver and a bronze medal over the years. That was with the Yoga Santa Rosa. But you can see the good experience she's got on the international stage, and certainly not fazed by any of the kind of technical questions in here today. Knows exactly what the course designer's asking of her. You can see her just opening out her hand a little bit into there just to keep things nice and straight and ensure the horse wasn't anticipating that left-handed turn. Come on, 3 left, 20 years of age, giving it a stellar ride out there. Ah, penultimate fence comes down again. You know, you come down to that final line, you're thinking about the time allowed, the horses are kind of coming towards home. That was a shame. But again, you know, she gave the horse such a nice ride round there today, and what a great setup for Saturday. Finishes on the 4, 80.49 there. Ana Sofia Legareta, Hernandez, and Bonfoy Van Hoff Santa Rosa. Was unlucky last week as well. Jumped another very nice round and had a rail in the first round of the Grand Prix. It's a little bit of four-faultitis at the minute. This is Daniel Ate Moscona, 11-year-old mare, Zanger side horse, Candy de Foruzed. Second right here. We saw him with Lucky Fauntleroy earlier. He wasn't here with this horse last week. He was in San Miguel. Jumped some good rounds with just the odd rail here and there. This is one that Nicolas Pizarro has been giving him quite a bit of help with. And just had to hustle a little bit in there. Then he's got to sit up and say wait. Good recovery through there. And in some ways that was a bit of a knock-on effect, that rail. You know, when you get your leg on and move up and then you land and then you've got to turn, they've already got that kind of excess energy that you've got to try and contain. Yeah, just the 4 today, 79.02. Just that one tiny mistake out there. Finishes up on the 4 faults. Really does a good job of protecting that final fence, though. Francisco Pascal next up then. Dominant 2000Z, a 16-year-old stallion by Diamond de Simi. This is one that's been in the family for many years, done some great things. That's taking that very delicate plank and a rail early on course as well. So now it's a little bit academic. But he's going to use his time in the ring just to get everything kind of ironed out and make sure he's leaving with a good feeling going into the rest of the weekend. He's sticking to his plan here. Nice even distance through that line. Oh, I'm saying weight down to this vertical. Well, 2 very, very early rails on course, then settles down into a nice rhythm. Finishes up on the 8 faults. 78.56 and 8 there. But I think he'll be happy with just how well that horse settled down. You could see that rideability really coming back in the latter half of the course. Well, just a couple left to come here in this first round. Juan Serra is next for Uruguay. Rides the 12-year-old by Glocks London. It's got Sandro Boy lines in there too. This is Candro PS. Rider who's 25 years of age. Be their birthday in a couple of weeks' time, actually. But a young rider who's already been representing their country at the Pan American Games. That appearance just a couple of years ago now. Really jumped nice over that Longinox there. Just settles the rhythm round the corner. I think straight through here. Oh, great setup. Really keeping everything cross here for Juan, because this pair jumped some nice rounds last week with just a single rail. So really keeping my fingers crossed. Just 3 fences left. Time should be okay. Yeah, super job. Pushes on through. 78.42. Juan Serra will come back for the jump off today. Candro PS jumping clear with just 1 left to go. We're up to the 8 clears here in this first round. 1 left to come. And here is our last to go. Javeria Maurer and Chatensky PS. 9-year-old gelding this one. Owned by Everardo Hernando. Represents Mexico, just 19 years of age. Younger rider, but plenty of talent for sure. Rider who's been to the North American Youth Championships, been to the Youth Equestrian Games as well. That was at Aachen. Got plenty of mileage for her age. Had some wins with this horse last season. Oh, a little bit sticky, but really kind of got up across the oxer and back down. Oh, lucky there. He's got to keep thinking forward. He just likes getting a little bit deep at times, this horse, and a little bit sticky off the floor, but boy, it can jump. Oh. Whoa. One to come. Clears that last and earns a place in that jump off against the clock. Riviera Maura jumps to clear. Chatensky PS. So that means we will finish with a total of 9 clears heading through into that jump off against the clock. Having a look over in the chat. Phil Hawk bet on 9 total clears. Got it spot on. And there are your clears that are coming back. We've got Argentina in there, Brazil, plenty for the home nation, Uruguay in there as well. And they're all going to be coming back in the same order that they jump clear in the first round. So those that are coming later in the first round and jumping clear will know exactly what needs to be done when they come back to battle it out against the clock. 35 in the end start though, and it is 9 that will progress forward to that jump off against the clock. We'll hand things back over to our course design team led by Anderson Lima this week. They're going to make some minor adjustments on course, but don't go anywhere. Very exciting jump off on the way for you in just a couple of minutes.
Más.
Well, the stage is set. We're ready to get back underway. It's time for that jump off here in Puebla. It is 9 that have headed through, getting ready to battle it out against the clock. We'll give you a tour of that course as our pathfinder, Rodrigo Lambre, gets underway for Brazil with takeoff Daria PS. Now here in the jump off, they're going to be starting over fence number 2. That's that kind of oxer down at the far end of this arena. This blue and white jumping back up towards home. So that's 2. From here, nice and simple, round towards fence number 3. That was a really delicate plank in the first round. You'll notice it has been changed. There is a rail on top now, and that allows them to move forward into it a bit more. Second part of that double of verticals, 5B comes next. And then to a new fence. It is that yellow and white, the oxer across the middle at 15. 12AB comes next. That's that double as we came down towards home in the first round. This time, though, we circle back round towards another new fence. It's the grey and yellow vertical here. That's 16. And then one fence left to come. The FEI Longines World Jumping Puebla fence. Fence 10. And that's a great start there. 39.57 is going to be the challenge. It's going to be the time to be beaten. You got some very smooth turns in there. The horse was active. It was thinking forward. Nicely done. So that'll certainly give the rest something to chase now. They'll all know they've got to be thinking forward. Got to be getting those turns. Ana Sofia Legarreta next, 21 years of age. And 39.57 to try and chase. This is Perla Optima Santa Rosa. But just changing that little delicate plank on fence 3 for the rail really allows them to keep travelling and not to have to, you know, sit and come back too much. We want them to be getting a nice angle, slicing across there, thinking about this left-handed turn. Just got to be careful not to kind of lose the momentum through the turns here. Got to keep thinking forward. Moves up on the way in. 39.57 to beat. Quite slick as she comes back to here. Down towards the oxer. Jumps the oxer, oh, but takes it down. And that's a heartbreak because look at the time, 38.34. She had the time, but then just takes that rail and finishes up on the 4 faults. Twisting through the air over that vertical at 5B. That was nice through there. And then just to catch that front rail. Wow, but we know the time can be beaten now. That was a fast time. So let's see if someone else can beat the time, but then also leave the rail up as well. Luis Alejandro Plasencia next up then. A rider with plenty international mileage. This is Enzo BJX. One that's already had some good finishes. Very competitive athlete as well. He'll be in here to give it a go for sure. Already you can see that activity and him really opening up the stride where he can. Trying to keep that momentum through that turn. It's got to be land and go, land and go. Oh, catches that. And that one coming out as well. And then just kind of loses it through that turn. Started off so slick though, that was a shame. The wheels came off a little bit there. Yeah, gives the horse a nice finish. Just not his day, sadly. That gives the horse a nice jump on the way out to finish there. Well, we've still got that one double clear. Rodrigo Lambri still leading, 39.57. Time to beat. Not many left to come here in this jump off. There's some fast ones still in the mix though. Let's see if they can catch him. Nice. Through there. Seems taking a little check here, just getting things organised. We can get around that turn. Whoa, I thought he was going to get away with that. You can see him really trying to get organised into that vertical and just didn't quite get it done in time. But you know, 4 faults in a good time could still get some good prize money here. He's going to finish on 4 in 41.44. That's going to take him into 3rd at the moment. It's got a nice jump, that horse. Shame just to have that one rail. Good angle here as well. Let's go to Andreas Caraga next. DMS Ecu. 1 double clear at the moment. 5 gone so far. 39.57 to beat. Can he get it done? If you get that nice slice there, it really sets you up well for that left-handed roll back through here. Pushes over the oxer and then has to just, we'll say, wait a little bit into here. Nice. Now it's loop back and get your leg on. About 8 seconds to get home. Come on. Now he's got to really fly down this final line. 39.57 to beat. Can he do it? Pushes on through. Ah, so close. 39.66. Going to head into 2nd place. But a great try there. Really was a fantastic effort. Ah, that was a shame. You know, that is, what, half a stride, if that. Not even that. So close. He's talking already, I think, about where he could have maybe made up a little bit of time, and it's really nothing, is it? Great try, though. So Rodrigo Lambri leads the way. Andreas Caraga sitting in 2nd. That's our 2 clears, and so close. 39.57 leads, 39.66 in 2nd. 3 left to come. Paola Amalibia is next. I'm a Star. Horse jumped its socks off in the first round. Rolls back again, just having that early rail, but you know, kind of trying to stick to her plan here. And again, the time wouldn't have been too far away, and I reckon if she hadn't had that rail, she might have just put a little bit more pressure on. But finishes on the 4 faults there. 40.98 heads into 4th. Hi to Monar Didamia. Hope I got your YouTube name right. Asking about the posting canter, which is like a rising canter she's seen a couple of riders do. We haven't got much time before the next one starts, but just very quickly, it can be a good way to kind of get the horse. If you've got a horse that's really kind of hot and moving forward, it can be a way to, you know, slow that canter down a little bit. And if you need to motivate the canter, you can also do that as well by kind of speeding up your rise or slowing down your rise. So rising canter is not something you see too much these days, but yeah, a lot of riders still use it and still find it useful. Anyway, back to our jump off we go. Candro Pescia already out there. Juan Serra on board here. Looking to be very competitive, I would think. People are whistling at the gate saying, come on, just got a little bit kind of stuck coming down that line. It's got to move forward, got to keep going, come on. Last fence, last fence. Ah! Gives the horse a nice big pat there. But that was a real shame. I think he had the time. I think the time was going to be good enough. Just not his day. Right, that leaves us with just one left to come. Avidia Maurer, our last to go here. Chetensky PS. Has Rodrigo Lambre won it from the front today, or could this 19-year-old come in last to go and clinch that win? Got to be faster than 39.57. Here we go. Let's see how this final chapter of the story unfolds here in Puebla. Just a 9-year-old, this horse, but certainly has all the ingredients. Again, thinking about that angle, because you've got to set up for that left-handed turn. Oh, nice and slick back. Come on, get up in the air. Oh, super job. This horse has a great brain. Good angle here. Now got to protect these. Nicely in, nicely out. 39.57 on the clock. Keeps that canter thinking forward. And down towards the last. Could she do it? 19 years of age. Jumps the clear. And she's done it. 38.78. She will be our winner. And I think that'll mean a lot to her today. Wow. Rodrigo Lambre sets the time as the first to go. It goes right to the wire. The final partnership comes in and clinches that victory. And she was with that horse every single stride all the way around there. 19 years of age as well. Wow, spectacular. Could see her looking back there as she landed, making sure it was still up and probably having a look at that time as well. Avidia Maurer taking that victory with Chetensky PS. 38.78 winning time. Rodrigo Lambre just behind for Brazil. 39.57. Andre Ascaraga riding off the top three there. 39.66. Three tremendous double clears. Close in terms of time as well. But a great win there for the young and talented Avidia Maurer and Chetensky PS. Wow. We've got some great sport to look forward to as well as the days continue. Don't forget, every single class available for you to watch on Clip My Horse. We've got some national sport coming your way here this afternoon. And then, just jumping ahead a day, we're going to be back on Saturday, the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup Puebla. Great opportunity for athletes to try and clinch some all-important points if they are thinking about World Cup finals. There's this in Ocala left to go, and then World Cup finals coming your way in April. So not too many opportunities left to get some World Cup points for those that are hoping to go. But always nice to be here in Puebla. Always great to have your company as well. If you have been watching live here this afternoon, getting involved with the conversation on Facebook or on YouTube, it's been fantastic to have your company. You can see we are getting ready here for our prize giving ceremony, and what a win it was. 19 years of age, last to go, pressure was on, and she gets the job done. Anyway, great to have your company. My name's Adam Cromarty. Always nice to be with you here in Puebla, or wherever we end up, but Puebla, one of the favourites for sure. And wherever you're up to for the rest of your day, enjoy it, and we'll see you back here in Puebla very, very soon.
Vamos a proceder a la premiación de esta 150 Open Class. El quinto lugar se lo lleva a México Paola Ami Livia, que montó a I'm a Star. Cuarto lugar para México, Ana Sofía Legorreta, que montó a Perla Óptima Santa Rosa. Tercer lugar para México, Andrés Azcárraga, montando a DMS Enkidu. Segundo lugar se lo lleva Brasil, Rodrigo Lambré, que montó a Take Off Diara PS. Y la ganadora de la 150 Open Class, la prueba estelar del día de hoy en este CSIW 4 estrellas, en México, Javiera Maurer Buch, que montó a Chaktensky PS. Prueba patrocinada por Puebla, el latido de México. Y bien, le vamos a pedir al público se ponga de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de México en honor a nuestra ganadora, Javiera Maurer. Gracias. Y bien, le vamos a pedir a nuestra ganadora, Javiera Maurer, nos haga favor de encabezar la vuelta a la victoria, no sin antes agradecerle al presidente de la Federación Ecuestre Mexicana, a Juan Manuel Cosío, el que nos haya hecho el honor de premiar esta prueba, acompañada del señor Erwin Walton, Brand Manager de Longines, México, y del señor Carlos Agenbeck, director de Quintas Ecuestres. ¿Estás lista, Javiera? ¡Vámonos! ¡Felicidades, jinetes! Aquí vienen los ganadores de esta 150 Open Class, la estelar del CSI, 4 estrellas, Javiera Maurer. Rodrigo Lambré, Andrés Azcárraga y Ana Sofía Legorreta.